So we're taking the 450 MT out today. I've been away for a week or so doing videos with the rally. If any of you have watched those videos, you'll see that I was using a TomTom 550 sat-nav. That's pretty much their top of the range sat-nav, or at least it was when I bought it, and I had some serious issues with it. One of the main problems is the location on it. The mapping on it is not as good as Google Maps for in the Philippines. It just doesn't seem to be that accurate on your location, so it will send you off on a route and then suddenly it will just sort of spin around, do a loop and say, oh no, sorry, wrong, not that way, go back where you came from. And initially it's kind of amusing, but it becomes annoying after a while, especially when it costs you a lot of time, and we had deadlines to sort of reach places. We had accommodation booked, so we had to get to certain places on time. Anyway, I've tried a few solutions. I've got the quad lock for my iPhone, but therein lies the problem as well. My iPhone and quad lock combination are susceptible to damage on the iPhone with the vibrations, and it's not a cheap iPhone. It's you know, it's an expensive item, and I don't want to risk it on the handlebars over long journeys, especially if we're doing rougher stuff with more bouncing, more vibrations, rougher roads. So I did speak to a couple of you in the comments on my last couple of videos, and you were asking what GPS unit I use. Well, the answer is that I have been using TomTom, but actually Google Maps is better here than TomTom. Google Maps is more accurate. It gives you traffic updates. I don't want to give it away too much what happens in the last episode of the adventure in Negros, but it doesn't update you in real time, the TomTom, whereas Google Maps does. And it's just better for little tracks and stuff like that where you're off the beaten path here. So I did mention to a couple of you in the comments that, yep, I think I've got a solution. So a couple of weeks ago, AOI got in touch with me and asked if I wanted to try their C6 Pro. And a couple of emails back and forth just to check that, you know, I can basically say whatever I want about the unit. Anyway, they sent me the unit out, and now I'm getting a chance to take it out on a test ride. And the features that it comes with are pretty astonishing for the price. So its main function, I suppose, to a lot of people is as a dash cam with front and rear cameras recording in 1080p, which is pretty nice. It comes with an IP67 rating, so it should stand up to the weather, which is obviously my concern over here. Today will be a perfect example of that. There's going to be a lot of showers today, so I don't know whether I'm going to get wet, so obviously it needs to be very weather resistant. It also comes with a nice feature that I was interested in, that was is tire pressure monitors front and back, so you can hook up a couple of little tire pressure monitors instead of your tire caps, and it will give you the tire pressures as you go along, which is really nice and comforting, reassuring when you're going on a long ride. But the main feature for me, and the one that I'm testing on this ride today, and the one that I've got installed now, is the mapping, because it comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and so it will hook up to your phone, and I can use that really good Google Maps and Google Mapping, but I don't have to risk my phone on a quad lock mount bouncing all over the place. Instead, I just use the 6.25 inch touchscreen on the AOI C6 Pro. And so today we're going to be testing that out, seeing how it works. We're going to go a bit off-road, a bit on-road, and I'm also just having a play with the 450 MT as well today. I've been messing with the suspension on this 450 MT to get it to where I want it to be, and it is feeling much more compliant now. So I've taken some of the rebound out, and I've taken some of the compression off the front. Yeah, and it feels quite a lot nicer than it did. Just feels like it's giving me a slightly better ride in terms of soaking up the hits. Should mention this, that AOI obviously sent me the unit for free, and I get to keep the unit, so I just want to be fully transparent with you guys, but that won't affect my judgment on it at all. If you ride in areas like me, and you like to trust Google Maps but you want to save your phone from any damage, then this may well be the unit for you at a decent price. You can get a 22% discount by using the link that I'll put in the description down below. So you can wire this into your bike, and it's switchable, so it just comes on with the ignition. It's not going to drain your battery or anything like that. But you can also just fit it via USB-A, so it comes with both fittings, which is pretty handy. If I decide to leave it on one bike long term, I will wire it in, but at the moment, as I'm just testing it, I'm leaving it in the USB. It's got the front and rear cameras, and it also has a controller that you can mount on the handlebars here, which means you don't have to go to the touchscreen. You can just reach across and use the controller. Again, I haven't fitted that yet. My real priority with this one, is it going to work as a mapping solution and GPS solution for me here in more remote areas of the Philippines? I believe the screen is 1000 nit brightness. I am in bright sunshine at the moment and I can see it pretty well. And it also comes with this little sunshade that you can attach on the top just to help even more, and obviously you can mess about with the angle. It comes with a variety of different RAM mounts that you can fit it with. I've used their straightforward ball mount here and put it on my handlebars. I have a rally accessory mount coming here for my 450 MT, and once I have that I will stick it up there probably. And I'm going to actually test this out on the Cebu Central Traverse in a week or two on the 450 MT, which I have now had the first oil change on, by the way, so I can rev it a little bit more. Little kids. I give them a little rev of the engine and they go, whoa. So I want to just give you a heads up on this unit, because I just think it's good value, because I have actually been looking myself, okay, what am I going to use? Am I going to buy a throwaway phone to add on? But then it's not particularly hardy, or if you do get one that is much more hardy, then you're going to have to pay more money for it. Do I try and work with the TomTom, even though it's giving me a lot of problems in navigation? Do I look at something from Garmin? I just think, that's quite expensive. Garmin, you're up at 500, 600 quid, and I haven't used one before, and I don't know that it's going to be better than TomTom over here. Google Maps really is the best option over here for mapping. So for me, Google Maps is like the one I'd like to use, and being able to use it on this screen, I just think is really handy, and it takes away that risk of me knackering up my iPhone. Okay, so it's connected to my phone. My phone is in the safety of my little hydration pack in the back there, and I can take you through a few things if you want. So we go back to the home screen on CarPlay, and we've got the various things in here. I can activate the various apps. Screen is working pretty well. So these are my phone settings. If we want to get back out, we can just one touch press this, and what I quite like is you can record your drive if you want to as well, which is a nice feature. When you have the tire pressure monitors, it will show your front and back tire pressures, and you can set an alarm as well if your tire pressure drops below a certain amount. So I really like that feature. And obviously you can go into your camera. It also is supplied with a memory card, so a micro SD card that you slot in here, and then it can record your front and rear cameras as you go along, and it will loop record. You can also have an option to sort of secure specific video files if you want. So if you have an accident and you want to keep that file, you can save it and make sure that the AOI doesn't overwrite that file, so you can keep the important ones. I think that's a really nice feature if you're driving, commuting a lot, and you're in traffic, and more chance of getting in accidents where other people are involved. For the price particularly, I think it's really good value. It's a nice screen. It's working with my SMX Air gloves nicely, and these are not the best gloves in terms of touch sensitivity. In fact, these are fake, so God knows what they are there. But then if we want to get into our CarPlay, we just click on here, and look how quick that is. It's almost instant. And then I can go into whatever mapping software I want. and I'm using Google Maps at the moment. And then we could search, you know, or I can look up my saved places. I've got various places in here saved on a list, or we can go to the keyboard and we can type in a new place. I have the maps for this area downloaded onto my phone already, and there we go, we got the mapping. And now it's going to take me to Dumanhog, which is the next town down from me on the coast, which it's going to take me through on the mountain roads, which is really good. I can obviously change that, set it up how I want, but let's see how it does. It's really looking like a good solution for what I want. I really just want that mapping feature to be able to use the CarPlay. I think that's brilliant. Having this AOI C6 Pro could well be a really good solution for me. I don't know if it'll be a good solution for you. It depends what you use. If you've got expensive cell phones and you want to protect them, preserve them like I do. And also, I don't particularly like using a cell phone screen. I quite like having a dedicated unit that is my mapping unit, whether that's a dedicated GPS or something like this that mirrors your phone. It's a really good value product and one that's worth considering. And even at full price, it's good value. But as I say, there's going to be a link down in the description below. You guys can save 22% on your whole order, which will take it down to really good value. That's just reminded me, my wife just called me. This also obviously has a Bluetooth connection. It can connect to your Bluetooth headsets as well, so you can take calls on it, you can listen to music through it, and you can control it all like that. That is another nice additional benefit. If you're the kind of rider, you know, you're doing a daily commute or something, not only will the cameras cover you if you get in an accident, but you can listen to your music, take calls and stuff whilst you're riding and that. And the connections, as I say, are good, so I don't think they're going to drop out on you. Should be pretty clear, pretty clean. And who knows, I might get into listening to a bit of music whilst I'm riding. I've done it before. But when you've got a 450 MT that sounds like this, I don't want to listen to music. That is music to my ears. Very smooth, the power. And the suspension, I'm going to go through my suspension settings on another video, but I've got it pretty close now. So I've actually just set it to take me back to my house, and I know the route from here, and it's not something that my TomTom 550 would give me, because some of it is little tracks and stuff, very local roads and little bits of, you know, not cemented and stuff. And because of the fact that the AOI connects to my Google Maps, it is giving me the right route. There's no kids down here. Oh, we got, what the hell is this? Chicken, don't trust them ever. Another chicken, don't trust it. Through that, the mapping has kept up, so that's an absolute bonus, because that means I can not get lost in random places. We got dogs. And carabaos. This bike handles very well off-road, like better than I'd expect it to at what, 194 kilos wet. I know I said that previously, but it is surprising how well it handles off-road. Like, I would not expect it to do that so easily and so comfortably, and because you can tune the suspension, and because I have tuned the suspension, God, it's not kicking out, it's not getting upset at all when I'm going through there. The traction, the tire is sticking to the ground. There was only one instance of wheel spin there, and that was me doing it on purpose just to spin out of a bit of mud. It's really tractable to the ground. The suspension is very good for a bike at this price. The back wheel there, we're going over like bumpy stuff there, and the back wheel is sticking to the ground. There's no chattering, there's no skipping, there's no bouncing. We're going at a reasonable pace, you know. Okay, so that's going to be it on my first impressions on this AOI C6 Pro. I'm going to be using it in my videos from now on quite a lot of the videos, and we'll see how it does, but so far I'm impressed with it. The screen's bright enough to see in Filipino light, so anyone who's not, you know, living somewhere as bright and sunny as me, then you can have absolutely no problems. It's bright enough, it's reactive enough with gloves on. The connection between it and your phone is fast, so no problems there with sort of stuttering or anything like that. You've got the tire pressure monitor as well, which I really like. And then obviously, if you're into it, you've got that dash cam front and back, which is really handy if you get yourself in an accident, which hopefully you don't, but if you do, you're covered. You can prove who was in the right, who was in the wrong. And if you go to my description down below, you'll get a discount of 22%, don't forget. Then for the price, this makes a lot of sense to save your expensive iPhone or your expensive Android phone, you know, from getting vibrated and getting the crap beaten out of it on your handlebars. Stick your phone in your bag and use this. So yeah, pretty impressed with it so far, pretty happy with it so far, but I'm going to report back and see how it works long term, and I'll let you know, of course. Here we go. Rain's coming. Ah! Ah, God, this bike's fun. Why, angry rain, that is beating down. Woohoo! That's actually, yeah, with just a motocross jersey on, you get to feel that. Let's get home.